Hey everybody, welcome back for another YouTube video. Here is a scrap wire update video, and I just ran this, I just set this machine up to strip some wire, and I got the drill gun here. I got a little broomstick, just to the end of a broom, to even it out so the gun doesn't, hang on an angle. So it's nice and straight at a 90-degree turn, and it's even got an LED on it. So let's just get through some of this and see how it strips. Look, that was the test run. It's done. Bare bright. Garbage. Instead of just doing one at a time, I got this big pile back here. I'll show you after. Let's just do some together. The gun running. Production. Oops. That one was a pain. This is solid core. I do have a lot of braided stuff here in the pile also, but I'm just going through this small stash of solid core that I worked on. It's not as easy. I had to prep it to get to this point. It was like I had another sleeve jacket on it. I had to cut it. Some had 4 of these smaller gauges. I saved the gauge right around 16. And then another bundle of wire I came across had like a 14 gauge with a black and a white. No, black and a red. No matter what it was, I stripped it down to single core by itself, just to get to this point where I could right away. This is the easy part. This is the fun part. This is the part I'm recording. You didn't see all the hard work it took to get to this point, but the reward is paying for itself. So is the machine. Now I have copper to hoard. So since you're there, I'm just gonna simply take this. It peels right off. It's like butter. Now I'll have all this single gauge wire here. I don't know if you can see it. Is the video showing it? It is. I'll take it for a little tour, and then I can wrap it up so I can catch up on some stuff. So that's peels right off like butter. I'll wrap it up real nice in a little spool. That's my setup: plywood, bucket, little chair, the Makita drill gun, which I don't want to use because it's my good one. And that's the setup right there, if you're wondering. I'm going to keep this video short. That's aluminum. That's steel. I went through all that armored cable. I actually finished. I completed it. I had the gut out job. I think I showed you the video previously. I did it. This is all steel. I don't think my yard only accepts 500 pounds and up. It's right around at least 150 pounds right here. Very heavy. 3 huge boxes full. Armored cable. This is the aluminum armored cable, so I was good on that. So I'll save the aluminum. I'll cash that in, and there's the reward. All of this is bare bright copper, thick, heavy, thick gauge. Oh, unbelievably thick. This core, very thick, very, very thick, heavy stuff. That's at least 150 pounds. I don't know. It's a lot. I'd say it's at least $150. So divided by 3. I don't know, just say if it's I think it's more than that. I think it's like $400 worth of copper by the time I clean it all up. That's the single solid core. Same concept. That's the stash I'm working on now, the red and black on the single core stuff. So this is easy to strip. This is going to be the challenge. I have all this appliance cord. You won't tell, you can't tell, but underneath I have a lot of black appliance cords cut, mixed. I have some thick stuff in there too. Like this is, you know, all this has to get stripped. So I can work on that every single day, little by little. That's a lot of weight. You're talking like, I can turn that into 60 pounds of copper right there. That's like 100 pounds of copper. And I already have about 100 pounds of copper. So, you know, I'm up there. I just got to start cleaning it so I can organize it and get it into looking like this. I still have to organize that. Like, I have to separate the Bear Brite from the number 2 to the bus and so forth. And there's also electrical copper. People, they're expensive. Like, they're valuable. It's not like, here, I'll just show you the example. Like, right under here, I have a little stash. Like, this is all electrical for the electrical application here. So if somebody was working on a board or some type of panel work where they needed to, you know, with the continuity between the three, I don't know, whatever they do. These are all the, I don't know, the word's not with me, but, you know, the flat pieces for the, and you would mount them to the panel or whatever. Expensive, very expensive. Even that stuff's like decorative stuff. I cut all the tip of the cord, so I set all this up. I actually cleaned all this out. It's ready to be stripped through the machine. So that's ready. I'm gonna do that tonight, call it a night. That's my copper, my update video. So you got to see that. That was the treasure of the video. This was just to show you what you can do in your spare time. You know, just set yourself up with a little wire stripper. You'll see these on Amazon. You gotta just pause the video at any good shot for you to just cross-eye and compare, you know, cross comparison there. You'll see it. I even bought a new blade. I'm still on the first blade. I did all that with this machine, actually, by the way. First blade, too. 18 bucks for the blade. That's already paid for. And the machine was like 100 bucks. I spent 100. No, I spent 100 bucks plus, which came with the blade, and then I bought another, so about 118 bucks. I made it back. Definitely am gonna make it back with that. The blade's gonna have to get me through that. I'm gonna get rid of that. I may donate that to one of the steel guys, you know. I don't know. You know, we have someone that shows up at work. This table's brass. I'll give that to him, to Frank. He shows up at work. I may just give it to him. I'm still thinking about it because it is 150 pounds. It's, you know, if I go to another yard, I can get like 10, that's like 10 bucks worth of steel. And this is all solid brass, so I'll take this with me on my load. Actually, I may take it and just do like an aluminum run. That table's like 40 pounds, so that's like a $40 bill. It's a brass table, beautiful. I got my metal detectors on it. I'll have to mount those up one day. You know, I'm just still organizing here. A lot of work, a lot of work. I got boards here. These are all high-grade computer boards, gold chip. Yeah, a couple pounds. So if it's $6 or $4 a pound, it's about $8 right there. Hopefully, you know, they give it to me, the high grade. And until next time, folks. Oh, that was in the armored cable, all of it. I'm gonna call it nickel when I go there. I think it could be aluminum, but I'm gonna at least. I don't have one of those testers. I mean, I'm gonna call it nickel when I get there. I'll tell them I have a lot of this nickel. It's very light nickel wire. Maybe I'll get the $5 per pound, couple pounds. I'm not sure, but I'll have to ask that question. You know, I'll make sure to mention it first before they deny me and say no, it's aluminum. Let them tell me that it's not nickel. I'm gonna call it nickel wire because that was the ground wire in the armored cable in all this. And just to keep you guys updated, while I was doing this, I started researching because I started researching like what type of what's the ground wire, what are these the old school vintage BX armored wire, MC or armored wire BX, what was in them, because I wanted to find out what that was. And that's the single strand that was in there with the two and that ran. So those three total, one silver line like this and two of those, which are black and white lines, but it has like cardboard on it, like paper on it. So I have to peel that off. It's just to show you so we're all on the same page. Like, this stuff comes off and underneath you'll have your solid wire. Okay, so that's that. All right, so just to give you a heads up as a educational course here, I'm going to show you never, ever, which didn't come from this stash. This actually was in my scrap pile from earlier. Never, I don't even want to touch it. It has copper in it, but I'm not messing with it. It's not worth it. Now, when you see the fabric insulation, like you see how that was paper, here it is. When you see the fabric, that's asbestos right there. That's the fabric sheathing that covers the wire. So that is the old school asbestos in the BX wire. There's Bear Bright in there. It's about like 10 feet. I don't want it. I don't even care about it. Let it go into the shred pile. This is, thank God I was researching, because I would have stripped that. I just stay away from all fabric wiring. Vintage. I don't know about the new school. Actually, the new school, you shouldn't worry about it, because there are like fabric insulated wires in modern time, which is like in computer or whatever. But in vintage, if you ever see, I'm teaching all the scrappers out there, if you ever see fabric sheathing, there's a prime example. That is asbestos. I'm not going to breathe it. I'm not going to shake it. I'm just going to carry the box, put it in my trunk, give it to the scrapper. And I said, this box will not move until I get it out of this house. Don't ever strip it. It's not worth it. One fiber, you breathe in one. I've worked with asbestos in like, what's that stuff? The insulation stuff. I ripped it out. I held my breath. I threw it in black bags. I disposed of it properly. Like, I've been around it. You just if once you breathe it, it becomes you're subject to get cancer. So, you know, I would have to like whack it around a little bit to get the particles airborne, to get them in the air. I'm not touching it. I placed it in the box carefully. I closed it, and it's staying like that until I get it out of here. All right. Use a mask. Use gloves. Get it out. You know, I'm bringing it to the scrap pile. Let them melt it. The trucks will run it over. They won't know. You know, so. Yeah, it'll go into the, you know, to the pile there. So I'm just going to throw it there so it does get recycled. That'll get melted down. But that's prime example of asbestos. Now I'm pretty sure, I'm 85% sure of all the research that I've done. If you look up vintage BX cable, that's it. That's the one that's the fabric. It's all like corroded. It looks like it's decayed. It doesn't look dry where it'll just like, you know. All right, let's walk away from it. Folks, thanks for watching. I hope you got something out of this video. Just a little scrap video update. And until next time, later.